Welcome to a session on subtraction. Let us see first what we need to teach children in subtraction. The most important concept in subtraction that we need to teach children is they can't take away a bigger number from a smaller number. How are we going to do it? Let us see if we can make use of these blocks and make children understand that they can't take away a bigger number from a smaller number. Give a set of blocks to the child or the children. You retain one part. Now, you take two of these and ask the child to give you a set as big as this. So, the child puts it next to the block, removes so much and gives it to you. Now, you ask them to give you a block as big as this. The child keeps it next to her block, takes away so much and gives it to you. Now, you ask the child to give you a block as big as this. The child will put next to her block and say she can't give it because she does not have such a big one. So, if they do not have such a big one, what is it that they need to do? They need to borrow. Borrow from whom? The person sitting next, and then they can give it. So, what is the concept that we are trying to put across to children? That they can't take away a bigger number from a smaller number, and if the number is smaller, if they still have to take away or remove, they need to borrow from the next digit. First, when we introduce the concept, let us not give them borrowing and subtraction. Let us take numbers maybe 37 minus 25. So, let us see how to use manipulatives and make children understand the concept of subtraction. Now, let us first make the children put the place value on top. Now, they need to take 7 of the cubes that will represent the units and 3 of the rods that will represent the tens. Now, this 3 rods and 7 cubes stand for 37. Ask them to look into the sign. The sign is minus. That means they have to remove or they have to take away. Well, how many should they take away? 5 from the units. So, let them take away 5 from the units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And how many should they take away from the tens? They have to take away 2 from the tens. So, how many are they left with? They are left with 2 in the units and 1 in the tens. That means the answer is 12. Now, over here, why are we using manipulators? One is for them to understand that the sign minus means they have got to remove, and again they also understand that the end result will be much lesser than what they actually had. Now, we go on to the next step where they can't take away, so they need to borrow. So, let us just take a couple of numbers. Okay. Now, we have 31 and they have to remove or take away 25 from 31. Now, let us use manipulators once again. Take 1, that means you are going to take 1 of the units and place it in the units column, and you have to take 3 that will represent the tens column. So, having 3 rods and 1 cube will stand for 31, and make them look into the sign, that is minus. That means they have to remove. How many should they remove? They have to remove 5 from the units, but they can't remove 5 because they have only 1. So, what should they do? They have to borrow it from the next column. So, once they borrow, they know very well because they played the exchange game already that they can't take this and put it here, but they have to give it to the bank, and the bank will give 10 units. So, they have so many in the units and 2 in the tens column. From this, what should they take away? They have to take away 5 from the units, okay, and 2 from the tens. What are they left with? They are left with 6 units, or the answer is, when you remove 25 from 31, we get 6. This will be step 1. Here we do not ask them to note down anything in the notebook, but the next step would be to note down in the notebook as and when they start manipulating manipulatives. So, let us take some other number, maybe 37 and minus 29. So, now let us see how to subtract 29 from 37 using manipulators. So, we need to have 7 over here and 3 in the tens column. So, the child has to take away 9. The child knows that she can't take away 9. So, she borrows from the tens and leaves it here in the bank. The minute they do it, please ask them to count the number of tens. They have only 2 tens. That means they are going to go to their notebook. Go to their notebook and change this as 2. Now, the bank will give them 10. 9 and 10. So, they put it along with the rest of the units here, they count it and they realize that they have 17. So, they go to their notebook immediately, score off the 7 and write 17. Now, how many should they take away? They have to take away 9 from the units. And what are they left with? They are left with 8 and they write 8 over here. And how many should they take away from the tens? They have to take away 2. That means they are not left with anything. Once they are not left with anything, they have to write this as 0. Okay. So, once you start doing it with manipulators, they find it very easy to do sums based on subtraction, and once they borrow, they also know that they have to change it in the appropriate column. Thank you very much.